Hello and welcome back to the Armchair Pundits, your spot for no nonsense, in depth chat, and all things football. And this week, WSL is back. So we'll be talking WSL and what's gone on this weekend, what's happened during the break, because there have been some changes to management, and a general rundown of how the league went. The league came roaring back this weekend, and Game Week 12 delivered on every front. We saw title contenders flex their muscles, and we saw teams that are looking to get relegated actually looking like they want to get relegated with their performances. My team being one of them. As you can see, I'm joined today by Leon, Lamont, and Bevan, and obviously you got myself, James. And you can see Lamont doing that, but it's a facade because obviously his team is now out of every cup competition and has literally nothing to play for, and they have no manager. Go hate. But we're
Yeah.
not here for that. It's women's football. It's women's football today, so we can bask in that glory. So the first matchup saw a Chelsea five-star performance as they destroyed uh, a hopeless West Ham team with a new manager, and boy, it wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty at all. 5-0.
It's a thumping. It was a thumping. They were really quite. They were aggressive from the jump, in it. Really, I think.
43 seconds.
Yeah,
Bro.
it was. I don't know if West Ham even really put up a fight. To be honest, it was just a total dominance from the Chelsea team, and when you go into games like that and you get an early goal and there's no resilience from the other team, it's a little bit difficult for you to raise your game. So you just do different patterns and just try new things. And I feel like that's what we were like watching with the Chelsea ladies today. To be honest, with you,
I think that
albeit there were some good goals. Go on, Brev.
no, there's great goals. There's some very good goals, but I think that a lot of the goals that West Ham conceded were of their own mistakes, and it was that they caused their own demise in a lot of it. And I mean, it seemed like it was a Chelsea. I mean, Chelsea, a training game for Chelsea. They were just there having fun, man. And especially to be 4-0 up inside the first half. I mean, when you come out from the second half, what have you really got to do? And with West Ham, all they've got to do is to stop the rot in it, slow things
Yeah.
down a little
Yeah,
bit. It could have probably been more if Chelsea had their shooting boots on in certain instances.
Do you think it had anything to do with changing of managers? With new Hammers boss Rita Gorino stepping in?
Yes and no. I mean, normally a new manager comes in, it gives the team a bit of a lift. But obviously, West Ham are doing pretty much as bad as the men's team are doing at the moment in terms of their league form. They're along with Liverpool the favourites to for the drop, and realistically, for a new manager to come in, they want to see which players are down for the fight. And when you look at the first half performance and some of the defending, it didn't really seem like West Ham showed enough fight to stop Chelsea from scoring. Especially
Yeah.
when you look at obviously the first maybe two or three goals, you would say they were avoidable. I mean, you had an own
Yeah,
goal, you had the Lauren James, which was a clearance from the keeper, basically blocked by James, and it goes in, and
In his
then
big box, pretty
yeah,
much.
yeah,
and then Alyssa
Yeah.
Thompson, the goal came from an overlapping run, which I think realistically Carpenter had no reason to get there. James might disagree because she's in full flow, but I just didn't really feel like the defender did enough to get to the ball first, especially from the distance where Carpenter runs from. But realistically, Baltimore's strike, left foot strike, was the goal of the game, pretty
Yeah.
easily when you
another
think of
worldie,
the way
another
the other
worldie.
goals have gone in. So for Chelsea, they obviously started off slow. They were unbeaten for a while, but they weren't to their usual best. Man City have got a lead, and they're playing catch up. And now we're seeing the real Chelsea. I think they're finding their feet, and they're probably going to beat most of the weaker teams in the league like this for the rest of the season. I can see that, but it just depends on if Man City can maintain their form. And Chelsea obviously have European exploits, so it'll be difficult to see if they can manage to challenge on both of those fronts for the rest of the
Bro,
season.
they've paid the bottom two teams in the league and scored 14 goals and conceded 1 in 2 games. In the last 2 games. They beat us 9-1 in the cup, which was horrendous. Our manager, I think, only made 1 sub. And then obviously, they won 5-0 today. And that defeat that they received, they took it personally. They properly took it personally, boy. Everton have unleashed something onto the league. And like you said, just whether they can, whether the rest of the teams can stop them and whether they can catch Man City.
I was going to say, do you think the penalty that Chelsea got was a bit harsh? Because
Somewhat.
Yeah.
Somewhat.
In a
You
game
talking
like
about the
that, you're
handball?
going to get
Was it
decisions.
handball?
Yeah. The handball, yeah.
Kind of.
Which
A little
It's
bit
a
hard.
seem given.
but-
It's a seem given. And
Yeah.
you see them not given kind of
Yeah.
one.
if her hands were out a bit further,
Yeah,
I could understand. But her hands are here, man. I don't know. I thought it was a
Yeah.
bit harsh.
I
That's
mean,
like
at 4-0, Bev.
But then your hands are there in an unnatural position to be here, isn't it? So,
True.
I suppose. Yeah, this new handball rule is a bit mad to me. But
well, it's
You know,
blurred the lines completely.
it-
So
Yeah.
when you kick it is like kicking a team when they're down, boy. Because I know that like they cause their own demise and a lot of it, but that's just the kind of final nail in the coffin for them, innit? And nothing
I
seems
think
to
they were
go on West
lucky
Ham.
it was only 5. It should
Yeah,
have
they
been
were.
9. It should have been 8
Yeah.
or 9. Really,
Yeah.
truly. They missed so many chances. So many.
I mean,
when-
they had
when you're-
26 shots on goal. That just shows you the overall dominance that Chelsea had from the jump, really, innit? They got Arsenal next year, and obviously Arsenal are within touching distance of kind of, clawing back the point deficit between them and Chelsea. So I'll be interested to see if they can, just recover from the lack of, clinical threat that they showed against United, to be quite honest with you. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting. I mean, Chelsea look like they're going for the jugular, and they're trying to catch City. So, yeah, watch out, Arsenal.
Yeah, okay, cool. So Skinner's out, Garino's in. Hopefully the manager bounce doesn't happen because a team we'll talk about later, Liverpool, can finally or hopefully catch up to them. But we'll see. So we'll move on to the second game, and that was Man City. Man City's professional pace setting, grinding out performance, and more like a machine that just doesn't want to stop. And it was a weird one because they missed a lot of chances, just like Chelsea, but they didn't rack up the goals. Bunny Shaw missed 6 or 7 chances. Some of them were a bit too far, but there was one that was a one-on-one almost that I expected her to dink, but she just shot it. But that was later on in the game. But it started off well with. Have you guys? So Carolyn, or is it Carolyn?
yeah,
She's
Kevin.
Brazilian. Yeah, Carolyn. I've never seen her properly until today. I've noticed her, but watching her today, I didn't realize how skillful she was, and the way she was just weaving in and out through players. I know she's had an injury, but she's a serious threat.
Yeah, she gave Pacheco a hard day at the office. Do you know what I mean? She'd be hoping just to kind of wake up from that nightmare. Yeah.
Honestly, City have 32 shots on goal, man. That's crazy. And it wasn't even like, obviously they did dominate possession, but it wasn't an annihilation. Like Everton tried to, hold the fort and try to, maintain some kind of threat, but they literally only managed to get 2 shots. As you said, Bunny Shaw didn't really have her shooting boots on today, but her assist for Miedema's goal was pretty good. A little dink into the box, controlled, and Miedema's finishing. Sometimes she just looks so calm under pressure.
Yeah.
Like she just
no pressure.
slots it, and the keeper doesn't really have a prayer. It felt like a training ground goal, really. But City just keep going from strength to strength, and you don't really see them dropping points. The key games will obviously be against the bigger sides, but your Chelseas and your Arsenals, really, because they've already beaten Man United this season.
Yeah.
It will take a lot of points for them to lose that lead, and they don't have to worry about Europe. So it really is on them to just maintain this form and see how soon they can wrap up the title, really.
11 consecutive league wins since the opening
Yeah.
day defeat to Chelsea, because they lost to Chelsea already.
Yeah.
But they've got the best attack in the league. I was wrong on Bunny Shaw. She had 12 shots on target on Everton's goal today. Wasn't even 7. She had 12.
Yeah.
But it just shows
But
what a threat they are when your star striker can have that day.
no, you're right.
Say again?
For your main striker to have an off day and you're still winning, walking away with 3 points, it's a great shout. Do you know what I mean? You kind of look to the rest of them.
The only thing about the game was the goal that was ruled offside. I mean, as a foul, sorry. There's a goal for a foul and a goalkeeper, and it was 1-0 at the time. The Everton manager wasn't happy at all. He thought it was an extremely soft call, and it was a bit soft, but you kind of know, don't touch goalkeepers. When you touch goalkeepers, then goals can be disallowed.
Yamashita made a meal of
got
it,
a yellow
though.
card because of it, complaining. Right, you think it was too soft?
Yeah, I think it was a bit too soft. I think she made a meal out of it. I think that they're having a bit. If the goalie's wrestling the player, then it gets we leave it alone. She's backed into her a little bit, but she's a big strong girl, man. She can move the right way.
You run the risk though, innit? You run the risk if you get involved, the referee might just blow the whistle like automatically. It's what referees do, innit?
No, that's true. But then there's another week where they don't give that, and they don't give that as a foul and say that the goalie's got to be a bit stronger. So it's 6 and 1.5 of 6 and 1.5 dozen of the other. I do think it was a bit of a soft goal not to give, to be honest. Because I was a bit shocked when I looked at it and I was thinking, what did they disallow it for? And I saw it, I was just like, I don't know about that. Me personally,
I think even though I think 1-1, I think they would have come back and it probably would have lit a fire under Bunny Shaw to actually score and be more on target. But we'll move on to Saturday morning or Saturday afternoon. Yeah, was it 12:30? Saturday afternoon, I would say. And Arsenal and Man United played
At the Emirates.
And the Emirates, a draw, 0-0 draw. And we said it on the show before when we had our guest Rodney Hines on. Arsenal lack the killer instinct to win games. And when your opposition commits nonsense, like a silly second foul like she did to hand the advantage to Arsenal, I expected Arsenal to capitalise. But it just, I don't know if it wasn't their day or whether you give credit to Man United. I know Lamont would say give credit to Man United.
No, to be fair, Joyce, Chilis Joyce in goal, she definitely got lucky, but in some instances, but there were some great saves and, she did definitely take the pressure off at times. I feel like Arsenal had an off day in front of goal. It just, nothing was falling right for them. And when it was falling right, they just they just weren't clinical enough to, put the ball in the back of the onion bag. They'll definitely look at this as 3 points, or as 3 points, as 2 points lost because they dominated from start to finish. United had maybe 5 or 10 minutes in the entire game where they made a threat. I think Rolfo had an early chance, and that was the only real noticeable chance worth mentioning, where she had a header from across where she flicked towards goal, and the keeper kind of made light work of it, and just took the ball in her hands and just played it out.
Mm-hmm.
But outside of that, Arsenal just dominated. And then when you see the likes of Blackstenius and some of the other real attacking threats coming on after Ford. You get say again.
It's Ford. Blackstenius and Ford came on together.
Ford, there you go. Yeah. After you get a red card, you think to yourself, "Oh, this is gonna be a long day." But they still couldn't find the X factor. So yeah, they got Chelsea next, and I feel like they're gonna be worried.
Bro, it looks beautiful until it gets to the final third. I think Rodney said it on the pod a couple of weeks ago, or months ago, that we can pass, but when it gets to the box, it's either going at the keeper, it's going just wide. There's just something wrong with the finishing, and I think the Arsenal manager kind of came out and said, "Oh, at least we're getting into the positions, but you got to be putting those away," and that's why that's why there's a gap between second and third, because those other two teams are just clinical when it comes to it. And you
Yeah.
can't. This isn't the first game. This the first time this season where Arsenal have been gun shy. So it seems to be a reoccurring theme, and it's not. It doesn't. I think in Europe we're a bit better, but in terms of the league, there are too many moments where it's been like that, and I think that it needs to be. They just need to be more clinical. They have to be when you've got teams that have got absolute finishers. When you've got Man City with Bunny Shaw, and like you got Chelsea's attacking prowess as well. So it was a bit lackluster for me, and I think I just expected more in attack.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think Mark Skinner will probably walk away from that just saying to himself, you know what, that was a great defensive display against a dominating Arsenal team. I'm just happy we walked away with some points. His 100th game isn't something...
right?
Yeah, it's his 100th game. I don't think he's going to be, wanting to talk about that one too much because it weren't our best display, but he'll look at that as, you know what, we didn't lose, ladies, so let's just get on with it. I would say, though, just on the Arsenal side, there was a debutant, I think her name was Holmberg. I'm not good with names, guys. So
Holmberg, Camilla Holmberg.
She had 2 marauding runs down the right-hand side, beat the fullback like... I know at that point, we had 10 players on the pitch, but ultimately, it was 1v1. And that's all she had to beat. And she beat her player every time. So if she can come good and start for Arsenal, you never know. Their kind of fortunes could start turning into rewards, really.
Yeah, okay. So general consensus: Arsenal lacked cutting edge, and Man United were strong in defence. And now league titles probably gone for both. So it's a battle for Champions League football.
Yeah, facts.
Yeah.
So we move on. Spurs' resilient rise and a costly debut for a former Spurs player, which made it Neville's nightmare as Spurs punished Leicester. So, for those you don't know, but you should know, former Spurs player Neville, before the game, she got a nice little picture. She got, thanks for your service, etc., etc. And what you don't want to do when you've got that before the game is to end up being not the villain. It's hard to say the villain of the piece, but the difference maker in the wrong way. And obviously she conceded her own goal. But yeah. How did you see the game, Leon?
Obviously, it's another tight one for Spurs. Haven't been great at scoring goals this season, but in terms of chance creation and against a team, Leicester's always that team. We always have tough games with them, and from a chances and possession point of view, we dominated, but didn't really turn a lot of that possession into really, really good chances. I think we only had a couple of shots on goal, and look, our former players helped us get the winner, and we're very grateful for her services and for her service in that game because it keeps us in the unrealistic hunt for European spot, but we're still there on 23 points. And as I said, we've outperformed leaps and bounds what they done last season. Leicester will feel obviously unlucky because they've lost to an own goal, but we've had like 72% possession, and generally Tottenham haven't had as much possession as that in any game this season. So to dominate so much and not really create more gilt-edged chances was pretty disappointing for Spurs. But a win, 3 points, can't complain. A new signing who had an impressive debut, Gaupset, I think that's how to pronounce her name. She had a good game, and I think for now we've just got to hang in there as long as possible and see if we can get a European spot. We've got FA Cup game next weekend, so there's another bit break in the league. But yeah, we'll see if we can put a run together and stay in.
You guys made it hard on yourselves though, because I think late in that game, I thought it was Hunt, but I think it might have been Hunt. I don't know what she was doing. She's a centre back, but far post, the cross comes in, goalkeeper sees it, keeper's on the floor, and all you had to do is just bury it. All she had to do was bury it and side netting. I was like, what is going on? and it's like he wanted to make it difficult. But listen, I mean, for top 4, for you to go above Man United, like you said, that's only positive, really.
Yeah, for
And
sure. I'm not
yeah, the
expecting
caveat.
to stay there. So,
Yeah, I was gonna say the caveat is that you guys' home performance this season is probably second to none, really. So if you can take that on to the end of the season, you're probably going to be good for a Champions League spot. Hopefully, you don't, but because United won that spot. But at least you got the bragging rights against the men's team. Do you know what I mean? You got a better home performance, so yeah.
well, yeah, I think Champions League is definitely a bridge too far because it needs Arsenal to fall off and for you guys to have a really terrible end to the season. But honestly, just being in this position is a huge improvement on last year, considering we were 11th. I mean, second from bottom, and if I can't remember who got relegated. If they hadn't have been so bad, we definitely would have gone down. So yeah, Martin Ho's done a really good job this season, turn things around, and hopefully this can inspire the men's team to buck up their ideas because the women for sure are putting them to shame at the moment. Just got to find a way to score more goals. Defensively, we're not being too bad, but we've only got a +1 goal difference. So just need Bethany England and Tamberg to kind of start getting a few more goals. That's what we could do with really.
Okay. I just remembered something that happened in the Chelsea West Ham game, and it's part of my moment of the week, but I don't know if I want to say it now or just leave it to the moment of the week.
That's going to be part of my moment. That's going to be my moment of the week as well. Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know how I forgot to mention it in the actual segment, but so leave it to the moment of the week. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Cool. So, all right, cool. We'll move on to Villa. Villa spirited second half surge after being 1-0 down to another goalkeeper howler. And Villa Park revival. And as normal, Daly inspires a comeback win. And Villa Park, you could call it a classic game of two halves where Brighton took the lead early thanks to Sabrina D'Angelo's error. She pounced, which was pounced on by Fuka Sonoda. A lot of people are trying to play out from the back, and sometimes you just you shouldn't. We've seen it in the Chelsea game, and they conceded a goal from there. You've seen it in this game. You see it in the Premier League. It's everywhere, and sometimes you just need to know when to get rid of it because it didn't cost them, but it could have been costly. But as I said, Aston Villa didn't fold. Second half, they come back with a goal from Daly, a thunderbolt from Kirsty Hansen, and they won the game. But apart from that, how did you see the game? Was it just literally a game of two halves where one was good first half, one was second half, or was there more to it for you guys?
I think it's definitely more. It was closer than the stats probably give, but again, give credit for. But again, it's one of them. If you're not clinical in front of goal, you're not going to win games, right? So yeah. I feel like Aston Villa probably when they went in at half time, the conversation was, we need to finish our chances. We're going to get more. Just make sure we do better. And they did that. Do you know what I mean? After 10 minutes of the restart, they got their first goal. And then obviously they got another one straight after that. So they were obviously just needing that conversation, that team talk at half time, just to kind of realize where they were and who they are as a team. Villa are not a bad outfit. And, I'd argue that at the end of it, they probably deserved the win, although they didn't have the most ball possession. But this is what football's about. You need to convert your chances if you want to get the points.
100%. Okay. So we'll move on to our last fixture of the game week. And we won't speak much about it because there wasn't much to talk about. Liverpool, the deepening crisis at Liverpool continues.
You're only saying that because it's Liverpool. Don't try it. Don't try it. You're only saying that because it's Liverpool.
Listen, if you guys want to talk loads about it, you're more than welcome to, but I'm pretty sure you don't.
That double jeopardy.
It's St Helens. As Liverpool's winless woes continue. I mean, even a new manager for the London City Lionesses couldn't spur us on to actually attack with a bit more verve. Like, I don't know. Watching that game, it was one of the. It was a tough watch. There
Yeah.
was a lot of effort, but I've said it before, we lack firepower. And when Olsen's not playing, we lack pace. Like, we were breaking away and we weren't running anywhere. It was really bad.
Yeah.
We're breaking
Yeah.
away and we're going nowhere. And then the Lionesses will get players back and it'll turn to nothing. I think at the end of the game, I don't think there was a shot on target by either team. Let me double check, 'cause I remember looking at it and I was like, oh, come on, man. And it's just disappointing. Because after last season, and maybe mainly the season before, we thought, okay, I thought we're going somewhere, but this season has been woeful. I mean, we haven't won a game in the league. Yeah, we won some cup games, but our last cup game we lost 9-1. Obviously, yeah, it's against Chelsea. That can happen. It shouldn't, but it can happen. But it's just ridiculous, if I'm being completely honest, and a lot needs to change. I know we are trying to get new players in, and we've got a few injuries here and there, to the point where he makes one sub or no subs at times.
Yeah. I think, you know what the problem is though, James, with Liverpool? When the manager's looking at the bench, they're looking for someone that can change the game.
Mm-hmm.
And when you haven't got someone that you could look at and say, right, you'll get me a goal. No, you'll get me a goal. No, you'll get me a goal. It is a difficult scenario to kind of really digest, because you're not making a change in the game just for fatigue.
Yeah.
In these situations where it's 0-0, you want them to be able to come on and change the game. So although you walk away from this game and say to yourself, do you know what? We've got a clean sheet. That might help us at the end of the season. You want to be able to kind of go one better and say, we got a last ditch goal.
Yeah.
We nicked it at the end. Do you get what I'm saying? That is where you want to walk away. We didn't play great, but we got the result. But you didn't get that today. So the transfer window probably couldn't come any sooner. I don't know what business you're going to do. I know, there was £1 million in the pot from the sale that you made to Arsenal, if I'm right.
Yeah.
I don't know what they've done with that money, but let's hope that some of that can be put aside for someone that can maybe be their maverick that could, turn a game like this into 3 points. That's all you can hope for.
Listen, it's kind of disappointing when, just to put a bow in it, when the captain says that getting our first clean sheet is the positive of the season so far. That's it's not really what you want to hear.
No.
So listen, we need to get some goals, and hopefully we find a solution. Otherwise, only thing that's coming for us is relegation.
This is what I was going to ask you, James. Is it looking likely though?
I don't see where we're going to win. I don't see where we're going to win a game. Like, I don't see how we win a game. So we just got to hope that West Ham do a lot worse than we do, and that point it's a good point in the end, because it's 1 point closer to West Ham. I think
Spurs next.
I think we're 1 point behind them.
Yeah, you have, but you got Spurs next. I don't know if after seeing the way Spurs was playing yesterday.
We'll see. But yeah, all right, cool. That's it for the roundup. We'll go on to the last segment, which is Player of the Game Week.
Your favourite part?
We'll do Moment of the Game Week. So obviously, we start off with Player of the Game Week. And I think we'll continue with the theme of I'm going first, I'm assuming. So, my Player of the Game Week is Sandy Baltimore. Scores a wonderful goal. Puts her penalty away neatly, and has a general good performance. She was a constant menace and has a definitive performance in a definitive result. So a brilliant display all around.
Is it me next?
Yeah. You, Leon.
I'm going to go with me.
7.
I'm going to go with Man United's goalkeeper, to be honest with you. I feel like Tullis Joyce, she done well to keep Arsenal from scoring. So it's got to go. It's got to go with her.
Okay. Over to you, Leon.
Honestly, as bad man as this is, I really, really want to give it to Ashley Neville. honestly. Like, can't blame her.
For the player for the game week.
Yeah,
That's deep, bro. That's
I
deep.
know, it's cold.
Former
But
captain, you know?
honestly, she's done us a favor. She's done us a favor because we couldn't buy a goal. Could not buy a goal.
Oh wow.
But no, I feel obviously as a professional, I feel sorry for her because you want to show that you're gonna give your all to your new club. And to be fair, she didn't have a bad game. She had a good game, but own goals happen. They can happen for They can happen for anyone against anyone. So I'll go with Baltimore as well because of her strike for Chelsea against West Ham.
Yeah, I was going to go for Baltimore as well. I'd like to end on something positive because the goal she scored was fantastic, and then she tucked the penalty away as well. So yeah, I'm going with Baltimore.
And an honourable mention, because I like to do honourable mentions, to Kirsty Hansen, who also, she got not 2 goals, but she got a goal and assist in the space of a minute to turn around the Villa game. So, moving on to the moment of the game week. And I mentioned it earlier, so luckily I'm first, so I get there before Bevan. If I see who got there. But West Ham had a brand new signing, ready to come on the pitch. And she was going to come on the second half, but her debut ended up being cancelled because it was chaotic and confusing because she had a new earring. And she wasn't allowed to cover it up. And because of the new earring, she wasn't allowed to take it out. So the person that was subbed off had to come back on the pitch and end up playing the whole game. And the new signing couldn't play because she couldn't take the earring out.
No
So
way.
obviously that can happen. It's not a women's thing or men's thing. That could be a guy that could happen. They could have bought an
Of course it
earring
can. Of course it can.
But it's just ridiculous. You're a brand new signing. You're coming on at halftime. Your team's getting battered, fair enough.
James, can I be honest?
Your phone
You know you
down,
get-
but you're coming
James,
on.
if I'm the manager, you're getting a fine.
Yeah. It's
You're
mad.
getting a fine.
Bro, everyone
you had
knew
it.
though.
Huh?
Everyone must
Say again?
have known. They must have known. They've got to known. Oh wait, hold on. It's still you got a new earring. Oh, you have. Oh yeah. Didn't see
Bro, that
yesterday.
is not a conversation to have, B. Come on, you
No,
know
but
that.
bro.
We're not having a
What?
conversation
But
that
she's
you've had a
new,
new earring.
But she's new. They might not know it's a new earring. They
That's
might
what I'm
not know it's a
saying.
new earring. So they might have thought
that's
that, okay, she's going to
horrible.
take it out when it's time to come. And she's like, I can't take it out. I just did it. Right?
Did it yesterday.
Close up, can't take it out.
Yeah, but what's she? Yeah, no, that's
Right,
a
question to you
mess.
guys. Do you just get it? Do you just let it close up and just play?
Yeah.
Or is it? I've never had an earring, so I don't know if you take it out, if it's
But
going
it's
to
not.
get
It's not
infected.
that. It's the infection, though, isn't it?
That's what I think.
Is
Is it going to get
Is it,
infected if she takes it out?
is it worth me losing my ear over a game of football?
I mean, you use your brain and not actually get your ear pierced
That's
like that week
But it
of your
wasn't-
debut.
You know what it is? It wasn't a lobe. She got like the inner part of her ear pierced.
But still,
Like
you just don't do none of that before you do your debut. I mean, it might have been a milestone thing. That's why the piercing was a consideration. But I feel like maybe you just decide to do it after your debut to milestone it. 'Cause, that is a horrible thing to be to be remembered for. To be honest, but yeah.
Well,
hopefully
it's
So,
not going to be
yeah.
remembered though, is it? Because they lost 5-0, bro. I'm not sure.
It'll be a quiz question. It'll be a quiz question.
100%.
But yeah, that's my moment of the week. Lamont, yourself?
My moment of the week is the marauding run from Carpenter out of nowhere. She overlapped 3 players, 3 West Ham players. So I'm talking about Chelsea. It's Chelsea's 5-0 win to get a pre-assist, if that's a thing. So yeah, somehow she got the overlapping run, and yeah, I don't know how she got it. You guys need to look in and just have a look at the Chelsea third goal and the lead up to it.
I'm going to defend the defender, man.
Yeah,
She ate her Weetabix,
that
bro.
honestly.
You guys are being harsh on the centre back.
Yeah, I apologise, but I think West Ham's are getting the brunt of this. But yeah, over to you, Bev.
It's Leon.
Oh, Leon.
All right, I'll have a correction. I should have given Ashley Neville's own goal the moment of the weekend, not playing.
I'm thinking.
Yeah. So obviously, for her to have scored an own goal against her former club after they basically gave her a very warm welcome back to the club and a thank you, she would have been very disappointed. I won't go back over exactly what I said before, but yeah, Ashley Neville for me.
And lastly,
Yeah, my moment of the week is the same as James. Yeah,
Yeah.
the West Ham substitution. He couldn't make it up. Could not make it up.
no, you can't. You can't. And that is that, as they say. Game week 12 has come to an end, and Chelsea and City look unstoppable, scoring goals galore, all looking like a machine. Spurs are on the rise. Villa found their fight, and Liverpool are in serious trouble alongside West Ham. Next weekend, the focus shifts to the Women's FA Cup, so we won't have a pod next weekend. But we'll be back the following week to cover the return of the league action, including a massive top of the table between
Chelsea and Arsenal.
Arsenal.
Cool. So thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much for watching to the Armchair Pundits podcast. This is the WSL Weekend Review. And if you have enjoyed the show, even if you haven't, I want you to like, I want you to subscribe, I want you to share, I want you to comment. And again, subscribe. And let us know. If you do make a comment, we will be reading that on the next WSL show. And we'll be shouting you out as well. So yeah, as you can see, our social media handles are on the screen, so you know where to comment and where to find us. Thanks, guys. Take it easy. Peace out.